Hello there, I'm Joshua Cho, and welcome to J Productions. Today we're looking at the DVD and Blu-ray releases of January 2015. So why don't we get right into it?
Let's get to it.
So these releases don't really start until the week where the 7th of January is, because the movies that would have happened in the 1st of January actually were released on the 31st or 30th. So this is starting from the 7th of January. So starting up, we have What We Do in the Shadows. A really enjoyable mockumentary following the life of 4 vampires that live together, and it's from New Zealand. From the team that brought you Boy and Flight of the Conchords, you just have an incredibly enjoyable and entertaining movie which plays on vampire tropes and just horror tropes in general while being incredibly entertaining. And though the pacing isn't always the best, and though there's not much plot-wise, it's just a really enjoyable group of characters who you just can't help but enjoy spending time with. I gave it 3.5 stars. Really enjoyable horror comedy.
When you're a vampire, you become very sexy.
Next we have The Grandmaster. Now I actually haven't seen The Grandmaster yet, but I've heard great things. Unfortunately I missed it when it did come out in my city, but I've heard great things. It was also nominated for Best Cinematography at the start of the year, and I just heard really good things. So if you're into martial arts, check that one out, because I'm definitely checking it out this month too. Next we have Life of Crime, which unfortunately did not get into my cinemas, but I did hear really good things about it. I heard it's really fun, and it's based on a book from the same writer who did Rum Punch, which got turned into Jackie Brown, or Out of Sight, and I really enjoyed those movies, so I'm keen to check this one out.
Hey, you keep your wife out here, someone's liable to steal her.
You promise?
Now we have the remastered The Dead Zone on Blu-ray. And I really enjoy this film. It's from David Cronenberg, and it's adapted from a Stephen King source material. So this is actually a really good film. It's more on the slow side, but it's a fantastic film, and you have Christopher Walken being absolutely great. About this guy who starts getting visions of who the Antichrist of the world is, so he has to try and stop him. And I know that sounds really kind of actiony, but this isn't really that actiony. It's a slow burn, and it's definitely like a horror thriller, though it doesn't outright scare you. It definitely gets under your skin, so be sure to check this film out. I give it 4 stars.
I saw his face. I stood there. I did nothing.
Also in the first week of January, we have the Australian film The Infinite Man, which is one of my favourite movies of the year. Absolutely fantastic. You can watch my full review here, but it's just great romantic comedy, and it also has immense depth in it as well, and it's really fantastic, so be sure to check this one out. 4.5 stars from me. Fantastic film. Unfortunately, it's only coming out on DVD and not Blu-ray, so I probably won't be buying it for a while.
What about flowers or a box of chocolates?
That would have been simpler.
Also new to Blu-ray, we have Darren Aronofsky's Pi.
Pi, a film by Darren Aronofsky.
It's just a number.
Now, I've talked about this when I talked about his filmography, so you can probably watch that review here. But I really enjoy this film, and it's actually been really influential on a short film that I'm writing at the moment. So it's really a fantastic film. The fact that it was only done for, I think, $30,000 or $60,000, absolutely amazing. And it won at Sundance, and it's just a fantastic film. I give 3.5 stars, though I don't outright love it. There's so much that I do love in it, from the cinematography to the audacious directing and visual style.
It's a dead end. There's nothing there.
A door, Saul. You taught me that.
For week 2 of January, we have The Immigrant. Now, The Immigrant has been really well received by critics, but I myself don't love it as much as they do, especially given the subject matter. It's basically about a girl force in prostitution, and it kind of takes a romantic look at it, and to me that just didn't sit right with me ethically, because I'm like, this is not right at all. It's still a pretty good movie and incredibly well shot with gorgeous cinematography, so I'd still recommend it. 3.5 stars.
It does not matter what you do.
You got a right to be happy, Ava.
We also have the Boxtrolls. Yeah!
The Boxtrolls.
I absolutely love Leica and the work they're churning out, and though the Boxtroll is the weakest of their 3 films, it's still a great film, and be sure to check it out. Gorgeous stop-motion animation, fantastic story, though it does get really dark, but in the end it's just a really lovely story about family, and that family can be anything, and I absolutely loved it, enjoyed it, and it really had a British sense of humour, and I enjoyed that about it, so it's a 4-star film for me.
Off with the box.
Third week of January, we have Maze Runner. Now, Maze Runner is a YA adaptation of the book of the same name, and the film was really, really enjoyable. It really works as a blockbuster, though as just a movie in general, it's just a pretty solid movie. It's not anything great, but as a blockbuster, it is a thrilling roller coaster ride, though unfortunately it still plays into all the young adult tropes. But overall, really entertaining blockbuster full of great action and thrills, so a 3-star film for me.
We can't leave. They won't let us.
Next we have the Skeleton Twins. Now, I actually missed this film when it came to my city, but I am really annoyed that I did, but I am definitely checking it out this month. I've heard great things. I'm pretty sure it showed at Sundance, and apparently Bill Hader and Kristen Wiig are absolutely fantastic in this film, so be sure to check it out.
I have a very serious question for you. Will you go to prom with me?
Lastly, for week 3, we have Fury, which is a film that I really enjoyed on a visceral level, and though it's not as deep as other war films, it basically is just about showing the brutality of war, and it is filled with great action and fantastic acting, though it is a bit too America, yeah, kind of flag waving. That didn't really bother me, because it was just a really fantastic and compelling story, so be sure to check it out. Lastly, in week 4, for my recommendations, we have Wish I Was Here, which is Zach Braff's latest film, which is partly funded through Kickstarter. And it's a really enjoyable, kind of nice kind of movie. It's not anything great at all, and it is a very superficial and shallow film, but it's still a good film with good performances, gorgeous cinematography, and just a really nice story. So it's a 3-star film for me.
Look, maybe we're just the regular people. The ones who get saved.
These are just my recommendations. There's more films that definitely came out in January, but I just don't recommend them. But if you get to see any of these films and have any thoughts on it, feel free to comment below. Go to my Facebook page, like that, comment there, follow me on Twitter, and don't forget to subscribe. Anyway, I'm Joshua Cho, this is Jared Productions, just get out there and watch good movies.